Hello everyone and welcome back to My Opinion. And this video will be a slightly different kind of video where I talk about an experience which has really enhanced my outlook on life. So I've started a job recently. Now this job is my second job. So I used to work at a hotel in the restaurant area from 6 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I was a waiter, so I had to clean tables after guests had left and also sweep the floor. I had to do this very quickly so that they could see the next set of guests. So that was for a while. That was my first job. And then in my second job, I work in a quarantine hotel from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., 5 days a week. And I have to mostly, in apart from one day, I've had to clean rooms of guests after they leave. Once they've completed their 10-day quarantine, they leave, and then I have to go in, usually with someone else, and then clean the room basically. And we'd be given a list, and we'd have to, well, complete at least most of that list by the end of our shift. And so yeah, I did that. Now the thing is, the reason why I say that I have definitely learned a lot about this job is for two reasons. Because one, I actually wasn't, you know, I wasn't very inclined to go into work because since my exams finished at about late May, and so I kind of just wanted a bit of downtime. And my brother was really, he really wanted to go to work, and I kind of just reluctantly tagged along. And the thing is, so we went to the first job together, then we went to the second job together. And the thing is, especially after the first day, I wanted to quit. Like, for someone who already, I think I like to see the luxury in many things. And so, because of that, sacrificing hours, many hours a week to go to somewhere where I wouldn't really, something I wouldn't really want to do, I wasn't very open to the idea, despite the fact that I would be earning money. But especially after the first day, I wanted to quit. And so there are two jobs that you could do, as I said. So far we've done is either clean rooms or go and when the guests like call you on their phone, well, they call the reception and the reception tells you what the guests want, and then you go down, knock on their door, give them 2 sachets of sugar or whatever, and then just walk away. You could do that. Now I only did that for one day. Now my brother was first doing that job, and I was doing this job. So I'm usually kind of seen as the one who has a lower pain threshold, let's say, and is probably a bit more. As I said, I like to see the luxury in everything, meaning that I'm not very good outside my comfort zone. So I came home after doing my job, he came home after doing his one. And so I was moaning, and obviously there was that thing that I just talked about, that they didn't really, he didn't really get why I was moaning. So I stuck along with it because I thought, I would be earning money, it's only my training day. I went back again, and after a few days, he was given the job that I do. And he started moaning. And in fact, after the first day, he was the one that was moaning pretty much the entire time. And then soon he quit, whereas I still stayed on. And I really think that now, I never looked to compete with my brother. And I even told him this as well. I never looked to compete with my brother. But the fact is that it gave me a sense of, I wanted to seize this advantage where the fact that something that was, as I said, the fact that he had some, even I thought that he had, a higher drive than me, and the fact that I persevered for longer than him in something which I wouldn't necessarily want to be doing, it made me feel very good and gave me a lot of confidence. So again, this isn't in a competition sense, but it definitely gave me a lot of confidence. And two, it made me, this also ties into confidence, but more in the material world. So it made me value what I have a lot more. Now, I spent my schooling years, especially probably from year 7 to 11, I spent those years feeling very inadequate. And the thing is, I wanted life to be spectacular, or at least without any kind of road bumps, in a sense that, any kind of adversity, I didn't want that kind of thing to be there. But then I looked at, what people have to do every day here for pretty much a living, and I felt really bad. And more than that, I think it gave me this thing to say, all the times that I thought that I was unlucky, all the times that I thought that I was going through a lot of hardships, is the fact that there are many people in this world who've not been able to even think of the idea that life can be spectacular because they've not seen any kind of enjoyment. It's always been strife and just, a struggle to rise from the start. And it's just the fact that I felt very lucky, and it's a feeling that I hardly ever felt before because I always thought that there should have been something more. But I felt very lucky that I thought I had kind of a standpoint to build from, which I never felt before. But as I said, this was an education into that. So those are the two things. And so the job itself, I had to go and collect with someone else. I had to go and collect the rubbish from the bins in the bathroom, and also so in the bathroom and in the living area. And also I had to go and take the linen, so the bed linen and the towels, and put them in another bag. So then we'd go down once in a while to like downstairs, and then put the rubbish in the bin, put the linen in the whole trolley thing, and then whatever. And yeah, I had to do that for 8 hours, and there'll be a lunch break from about 12 to 12 p.m. to 12:30 p.m. and then just go back to work again. And at first I struggled with it. It was quite difficult. As I said, I never saw myself doing this kind of a job, and I think for a lot of that time, for a lot of that time, obviously I still kind of had a little bit of regrets from my past, for a few days, especially at the start when I was working there. Well, I still am working there, but I had regrets from before. So I really had to fight that as well, and also go with, the fact in reality, I wasn't very comfortable with what I was doing. But I think another thing that the job helped me with, that it actually, I tried to focus on the present, even though I never, if you keep, some of the rooms that we went to weren't very good. And, some people smoked in the rooms and all that. And they just left everything everywhere and went. And the smell was terrible, so on. But I tried to notice that and not go into a dream mode, which I had made the mistake of doing that in the past, because in the end I just wanted to embrace a reality by, for what it was. Now I knew it would be, it was very difficult, but I still think that I'm very happy that I done this so far for about 15 days, because it's really helped me get to grips with the real world, and I feel much more in tune with what's going on around me rather than before, where I think that I lived in my head way too much. So I think that I'm very happy with the fact that something that I really didn't want to go to this, as you would probably imagine, because from at first glance you'd think, what's so good about it? But it definitely gave me something to do when in a time where I could have just been sitting at home and not doing anything. I felt, tired when I came home. I didn't really have much sleep, and whenever I woke up, I usually think, no, 8 hours of doing this again, and it would feel probably overwhelming every single day because of the job that I knew, I'd have to do. But it wasn't that bad, and what I'm saying is that it definitely it gave me this reason to not live in my own head, and I had to complete a task, within a time, and it was a task that I didn't want to do. So it was two tests which I have struggled a lot in the past in. I'm quite slow in doing things, and I also don't venture out of my comfort zone virtually at all. And there's a sense of fear that would envelop me when I did that, and so I just go back into my comfort zone again. So I've learned a lot of immaterial things from this job, and as a bonus, I also got paid as well. And so, yeah, it's just the fact that something which seemed so, I never thought I would do this kind of a job, it actually worked very well, which I'm very happy about. So, yeah, that was this video. It's just that I wanted to make this video because it was just to say, yeah, like, I never thought I'd be doing this, but I've worked a few days in the job, and I feel much more confident in my own self, and yeah, just what I can do. I don't have the same the most important fact is I don't have the same stereotypes that I had about myself in the past. I don't think of myself to be that looking for luxury as much as hedonistic, so to speak. I don't think of myself as being that much of a baby as I thought myself to be before. So yeah, that was this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and please share this video with your friends. And remember, this is my opinion. What's yours?